combination of a young, budding scientist and an esteemed space scientist from ISRO will surely bring a unique perspective to the audience. Introducing this 11-year-old scientist brings a fresh and youthful energy to this event. His curiosity and passion can be infectious, motivating others to take to science and technology from a young person's point of view. This youngster's talk will provide a glimpse into the demanding yet rewarding nature of space travel. Before we get into the Tamil introduction of our young scientist, I would request you to watch a promo of the Anna Centenary Library. Those were the speakers before this. We call upon a space enthusiast, tech speaker, podcaster, Microsoft Technology Associate in Java, JavaScript, Python, HTML, CSS, and database too. Ladies and gentlemen, our youngest TN Talk speaker till date, Master Venkatraman Patnaik, our chief librarian, will introduce him in Tamil.
வணக்கம். இன்றைய டிஎன் டாக் நிகழ்ச்சியில் நம்மிடையே வந்திருக்கும் விருந்தினர் செல்வன் வெங்கட்ராமன் பட்நாயக் மற்றும் திருமிகு எம்எஸ் ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்கள். செல்வன் வெங்கட்ராமன் பட்நாயக் சிறப்பு விருந்தினராக நம்மிடம் வந்திருக்கிறார். கேம்பிரிட்ஜ் போர்டு பள்ளியில் 7ஆம் வகுப்பு படிக்கிறார். 11 வயது ஆகும் வெங்கட்ராமன் பட்நாயக் அவர்கள் ஜாவாஸ்கிரிப்ட், பைத்தான், HTML மற்றும் தரவுத்தளங்களில் மிகச்சிறந்த புலமை பெற்றுள்ளார். SDR சிக்னல், அதாவது ரிமோட் சென்சிங், ஏவுகணை வடிவமைப்பு, கியூப்சாட் போன்றவற்றில் தனது தனித்திறமையை வளர்த்து கொண்டுள்ளார். நாசா, இஸ்ரோ போன்ற நிறுவனங்களில் நடத்தப்பெறும் போட்டிகளில் நிகழ்வுகளிலும் பங்கு கொண்டு தனது பங்களிப்பை வழங்கி வருகிறார். இவருடைய பணி சிறக்க, அறிவியல் பணியில் அவர் மேலும் மேலும் முன்னேற்றம் அடைய அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டு உலகம் அவரை வாழ்த்துகிறது. நம்மிடையே வந்திருக்கும் அடுத்த மிகச்சிறந்த அறிவியலாளர் திருமிகு எம்எஸ் ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்கள். இவர் மேனாள் இஸ்ரோவின் பெங்களூர் பிரிவில் இயக்குநராக பணியாற்றியவர். விண்வெளித்துறையில் 36 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேலாக தமது பங்களிப்பை வழங்கி வருகிறார். இந்திய விண்வெளித்துறையின் செயற்கைக்கோள்கள் உருவாக்கம், சோதனை ஏவுதல் முதலியவற்றில் தனது பங்களிப்பை வழங்கியவர். சந்திராயன் 1, 2 மற்றும் செவ்வாய் கிரகத்தின் ஆராய்ச்சி பணிகளில் தன்னை முழுமையாக ஈடுபடுத்தி கொண்டவர். தனது பணி நிறைவுக்கு பிறகும் மாணவர்களுக்கு விண்வெளித்துறை பயிற்சிகள், ஊக்கமளிக்கும் நிறைய கல்வி சார்ந்த பணிகளை மேற்கொண்டு வருகிறார். ஐயா அவர்கள் அறிவியல் பயணம் மேலும் சிறக்க நமது அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டு உலகம் அவரை வாழ்த்துகிறது. நன்றி.
Venkatraman Patnaik from Odisha. Venkat, may I call you on stage? Can we give him a round of applause as he comes on stage?
Thank you everyone for coming here. Thank you Neena ma'am and Chief Librarian for giving me an introduction. As you all know, I'm Venkatraman Patnaik, and before I begin my presentation, I'd first give expression to my immense gratitude to Dr. Neena Gayatri and K. Ilambavat sir for inviting me to this prestigious platform, TN Talk. And I would also express gratitude to Srinivasan sir, who will give an insightful talk later on the space Odyssey. I'm also thankful to him. And with that, I'll begin with today's presentation. But one more thing, as a disclaimer, this is mostly a storytelling platform, but I will be giving this presentation with some technicalities, so I'll try my best to break them down. So I'll begin with the presentation. By the 1960s, it was a great time for space enthusiasts. Two countries were on their peak trying to compete for space science. The US and the Soviet Union were trying their best to first send the first satellite, first man, first woman, first person to spacewalk, that is, go outside of their capsule or cabin, and now the target was first man on the moon, and it was a race. It has begun, and this was the end game. So this was Apollo 8. They did a lunar orbit and capture, so that means they would revolve around the moon just like how the earth revolves around the sun, and they did the same thing. They would take their capsule or the pressurized cabin wherein these three astronauts would be there, and they would revolve around the lunar orbit. Then we have Apollo 9 that did lunar orbit docking, which means they joined or combined two spacecrafts into one by joining them and creating a pressurized entrance, basically from going to the capsule to the lunar lander. Then Apollo 10 got even closer to the moon. This had basically hovering over the moon, so it would come really low, about 2 kilometers, before they would go back and shoot up into lunar orbit. Then Apollo 11, this was the biggest mission of all. The first man was on the moon. This was astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. This was the end of the space race and the beginning of a new era. By this time, they gave the words Tranquility Base here, the Eagle has landed, and they had landed on the moon. So Eagle is the name of the lander, therefore they even created the insignia in a similar way. And all of this was the beginning, a spark of inspiration. This began as an inspiring moment for a young Mike. He was watching his television and he first gazed at his TV and then went back and looked at the moon, waved there, knowing that there were people officially that had stepped foot on the moon. This was a spark of inspiration, and this began into making his lifelong goal of being an astronaut. Then his dreams were expanding even more. He then would basically pretend to be an astronaut in a spacesuit and looking around, pretending to explore an Earth-like planet with his dog. This was the beginning. His interests were expanding and he was learning more and more things about space science. But then by the third grade, things were about to change. You see, it was basically becoming an astronaut, a dream that was seen so ridiculous or impossible, at least to him. And he didn't find it as it was very good. It was a great dream, but he didn't find himself as a category to be able to become an astronaut. So his dreams were mostly left over by there. He also was nearsighted, so he wore spectacles. He didn't have much weight and was afraid of heights. too many bold things that astronauts won't be so afraid about. So he went on, did an engineering degree in Columbia University. This was a great track to him. He joined IBM, that's a big company at that time. But things were about to change once again. This was the 1980s. By this time, space wasn't a race anymore. It was a universal participation. Countries soon started joining alliances with any of the two countries, US or USSR, now or Soviet Union, and this was beginning to grow more and more. India by that time itself had sent an astronaut, Rakesh Sharma, who went with the help of USSR, and he also saw more acceptance to astronauts, not just military test pilots, but to people of more background that were like, for example, biologists, chemists, or doctors, engineers, etc. So space, like I said, wasn't a race anymore. It's a universal participation, and everyone was going to go to space at one point. He then watched a movie, The Right Stuff, about the Mercury 7 crew that were the first people to have ever gone into space. But he had some setbacks. These were major. He was, as I said, nearsighted, which means he wore spectacles, and this made things tougher for him because he didn't get selected the first two times. Then on the third time, he did a process called orthokeratology, in which things took him to an interview, but side effects and the thing called flat eye then caused him to basically be not selected the third time as well. And then by the fourth time, he did some vision training. This is something really simple, and this was a process, so 1 to 3. And in the first stage, this is something as simple as thumb exercises. Then they had the second stage, wherein he's doing things with the headset. And in the third one, he then he's then wearing these goggles to do so. And this was something very fascinating for me, because I didn't think that with me wearing spectacles, an astronaut was something really viable, until something so simple as exercises using thumbs, not just 2 and 3, it depends on how bad your vision is, but something as simple as a thumb can really fix your vision and make stuff like this possible. And then he was selected the fourth time. He was an astronaut candidate. That means that he was under training, and he would go through this the next 2 years. And in this, we have trainees in a 0G plane, which is actually pretty interesting. As you can see here, there are these trainees from a plane that would actually just go up higher and higher and higher and reach an altitude of 40,000 feet. And in this trajectory, they experience 1.8 Gs. Then all of a sudden, they just fall. They drop down and down until when they're at a few thousand feet, they pull up and go back to 1G. And in that time, they experience 0G, wherein things get floaty and they start to hover all around, just like we see in space. So, with this scary trajectory, would you really go into this type of plane that has the risk of crashing, but at the same time has a fun and enlightening experience that can really be a start of astronaut training. Next, we have the neutral buoyancy lab, which in simple terms is basically aligning the center of buoyancy to the center of gravity. You all may know what buoyancy is. Buoyancy is a measure of your likeliness to float or sink. And in the neutral buoyancy lab, there's also a thing called the center of buoyancy, wherein it's basically the center wherein all the water would be focused. So if it's towards the back, you're likely to float or sink backwards. If it's towards the front, then you have to float and sink towards the front. So when they align the center of buoyancy to the center of gravity, things get in a situation like this. You don't really ever, wherever you turn, wherever you move, things don't change. It's just like floating in space, but instead of going into a scary trajectory like the first one, you would go into a pool of water. And then in the third one, these are trainer jets, which are pretty obvious. These are jets which will do specific maneuvers to experience G-forces. These are really high forces wherein you feel your weight, but up to 7 times of what you feel right now. So if you're sitting right now comfortably, imagine yourself sitting right there, but feeling 7 times of your weight over you. So that is some tough training that astronauts have to go through. Here, right now, back to the story, he wasn't a very good swimmer either. He was afraid of the water and he didn't even find the meaning to swim at all. So he never swam until his training began. So this then started off as more of practice sessions. He did training sessions that really didn't help until at this one point he described this as the greatest thing that had come to him. His instructor, that was also instructor to other trainees, basically gave this exercise that they would divide every swimmer into 2 groups, strong and weak. Then, one person from the strong group will help a person in the weak. This was basically an experience for him to be judged, to be found, and to be explained in a proper way on to improving his swimming technique. And he later on an interview would point out that this would be a great experience to him, and this was the greatest thing that had come to him because he in any way didn't find an interest in swimming until finding a technique of teamwork. And this was something that was not just helpful here, but onto almost every other field or every other exercise that they had taken. And this goes on to show that teamwork and support can take things to long lengths. So now let's come to his space missions. By this time, he was working on the Hubble Space Telescope. You can see right here, a really giant telescope. And in this, he is servicing the telescope, pulling equipment out of it and putting it back in. And this was him servicing it in 2011, the last service that was ever given to the Hubble. And he called this as something very extraordinary because this can image faraway galaxies and faraway places into a very interesting, into very proper image, something that we can't do in Earth because of our atmosphere and many other considerations that I won't go on into. This was a dream come true into him, and he then would also go on to explain this into more sensible format when he would go to the International Space Station on the next mission, which, can you play this? Which, if you can see here, this was an enlightening experience to him because he would see back down into Earth. So this is him upside down, and he would go take onto a view onto Earth. He looked back reflecting on his dreams. He said that it was a lot of considerations, lots of things, teamwork and support that had helped him. But looking back on Earth, he said some really important things that I also believe you should keep in mind. He said that Earth is this beauty that can be finished at any time by humans and not by humans, by an asteroid or by human tragedies themselves. But our only way to fix this is move somewhere else, onto a different planet, onto a different place. But Earth has given us so much. It has given us a home planet that we could use into growing into so much, from humanity into that were into hunting to now, wherein we are doing a lot more advanced things. So Earth has been something that has housed us, protected us for so long, and done so great things that it is something that we should keep ourselves a place into. In Expedition 33 and 34, this was a mission. An expedition, in simple terms, is a mission to the ISS for almost 6 months. Here, the people in black t-shirts are leaving the ISS, the space station, and transferring commander to the ones in green. So, Mike here is now going to be the commander of the International Space Station. They would do research for up to 150 days coming next, and every 12 days they would do robotic activities, that means work with robots in space, which are a lot better than humans because they have the precision and you don't have to risk lives of a human to do such activities, which is why they do more robotic activities than they do human activities. This was another dream come true. He was going to be the commander of the International Space Station, something that he as a child only heard of as plans. Now he was becoming the commander of it, so it was a big deal. They were doing research in this, in which he saw this one. So this is one of his crewmates. One of his crewmates that were working on crop growth. He on quote said, "This was mesmerizing to see. When we move into a different planet, this will be the basis of what we do, because Earth has given us a soil wherein we can grow plants and everything, but that cannot be the case on a different planet." And in this artistic rendering, you can see that they would use UV light, and then they would use this as artificial sunlight to grow this plant. And similar research to him was sent on the moon as well. So this was one of the biggest research that was done, and it was done under his light as well, which he called as a thing that he could have never believed he could have done when he was a child, because these things are actually going to help us when we go to Mars. Any of you can be one of them as well, who will be using these techniques to grow plants, to live everyday life that you have on Mars. And you eat food, you must have eaten your lunch today, and in that there must be at least one vegetable or plant that has been used. This is exactly that was being done here, so this is a lot of work. So then this then turned into life in orbit, which he would follow for almost 6 months. So after waking up in a sleeping bag, they would do exercise for almost 2 hours. This shows the importance of exercise, especially in space, because there you don't have the use of legs and certain muscles and bones that you do here on Earth. You use some muscles like I am standing here and you are sitting, but your muscles, legs and quadriceps, they won't be used in space. So they basically you are using a treadmill clamped down to themselves to do exercise. Then they're doing extravehicular activity, EVA. So they would go out of the space station, literally floating right next to it. And while it doesn't feel like it in this image, they're traveling at 17,500 kilometers per hour. So it's something that doesn't feel like it's happening at all. I mean, did you imagine that such a thing would happen when you see those videos? Because they're not too, we can't understand the scale, how fast that we're really traveling. And we have meals that they eat. These are dehydrated, but they use water to basically use a dehydration system, considering consisting mostly of water. And in that, they would use water to rehydrate it so that it doesn't expire so soon. And then lastly, they do airlock research, which was something similar to what is being done on the previous slide. That can be crop growth, rock research, and when he was also announced to be one of the crew members on another mission to the moon. So he would be literally lifting a rock from the moon and doing a research in a similar contraption to this. He couldn't believe that and said, quote, this was another thing that was interesting to me, because I had seen my heroes go to the moon. That captivated me into going into space, but after that, I really couldn't believe that I was the one going to the moon and possibly inspire other people as well, end quote. This was inspired by these two gentlemen right here, astronauts Mike Massimino and Kevin A. Ford. They traveled in STS-125 and STS-128. They blocked out for some reason. And also Kevin A. Ford with STS-128, Expedition 33 and 34, as well as Soyuz TMAs 06M. So these are basically rockets and missions that have went into space. Now, while this is the end of the story, I have a few more things to point out. Some announcements. Because human space flight, at least here in India, is not stopping there. All these rigorous training procedures that I had shown, these were only done by 2 Indians on Earth. Rakesh Sharma, I think a lot of us might know about him, and Ravish Malhotra, which you may not know about him, but he was a backup crew, a backup astronaut. That means if anything happened to Rakesh Sharma, he would be the one flying into space. So he actually was supposed to fly first, but due to some considerations, he didn't. And he also played an important role that was really not mentioned by a lot of people, but yes, his role was really important in that space flight as well, Soyuz T-11. But there are more announcements. There will be Indian astronauts in the ISS, the space station that I was showing, and that would happen in October of this year. So yes, this is a very big mission. Shubhanshu Shukla will be the one flying into space, and Prashant Binayat, another astronaut, he's the backup crew. So they both are currently in the US training for the SpaceX, that's a private company who has built the Crew Dragon. That's the capsule, that's the rocket and the pressurized chamber that they'll be flying onto. And then there are two more astronaut trainees, Ajit Krishnan and Angad Pratap. These are mission specialists, which means they have some special roles and the skill sets to play in the mission. The earlier two were pilot and commander and pilot, respectively. So these two will be the other astronauts to fly, and Ajit Krishnan himself is from Chennai, so he also has an important role to be playing as in the mission that he'll be flying on. And yeah, that's it. That was some story about an astronaut's life in Earth, space, and beyond. Thank you.
The curiosity and passion that can truly be infectious. We learn to appreciate the dedication and courage required to push the boundaries of human exploration. Proud of you, Venkat. And future of Indian space research and technology is definitely in good hands. His expertise in the world of space and space technology can offer valuable insights into the challenges and wonders of space exploration. His achievements and contributions to the field of space science is mind-boggling. Take us on a space odyssey he will. Undoubtedly captivate us with stories of exploration, discovery, and innovation. Knowledgeable, passionate, and the space soldier of India. Former Group Director, Power Systems, Dr. Rao Satellite Center, ISRO Bangalore. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. M.S. Srinivasan. Sir, please.
Vanakkam, Chennai. So, I'm very happy to be here and very interesting talk by Venkat now. I'm thankful to School Education Department, Data for Robotic Libraries, and Satellite Library, very impressive library you have, unique, no such library in India, anywhere in India. And you're all getting a good opportunity to access data, it's at your fingertips. Thankful to Dr. Neena Gayatri and Thiru Ilamadhan, IAS Director of Public Libraries, librarian, supporting staff, and all my dear students. So just now, Venkat gave a very impressive what is happening in space, particularly about the space station. And we are going to have our own Bharat Antariksh Station, BAS, another 10 years. So I hope someday one of you will be there as astronaut in our own space station. So another 15 years, we are going to plant a moon also on man or woman on Indian on moon. So one of you can dream to be like that. Venkat also has such dreams. You also can dream. So once you have a dream, you can plan to achieve it. So I will not waste time. I just tell the space Odyssey. How ISRO started and last 50 years, how we started from a small sounding rocket in Trivandrum. How we moved up to our first priority was we have to do something for the welfare of people. So that I will show. Yeah. So I will be talking about ISRO activities, societal benefits, challenges and opportunities. So all of you want to go into space race also. I will tell how we can all become ISRO scientists. Or now ISRO has opened up a lot of private. So you can join a private company. If any of you have any ideas, there are people who will fund it and take it forward. Yeah. So this is Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He only dreamt about. He's the founding father of ISRO. He told we must be second to none in the applications of advanced technology to the real problems of man and society. So that was the basic idea which we started and we continued. Yeah, here what you can see here, our ISRO started in a small church in Trivandrum. There was a church being used. And you can see there, what you see below now, that's our own Kalam. Dr. Kalam, who is sitting with assembling a rocket there. And you can see a rocket. They were waiting for the taxi, didn't come, they didn't bother. That's the way ISRO works. So they took it on a cycle and took it to launch pad. And there is a sounding rocket. Every second Thursday of the month, they do it. If anyone of you want to see a rocket launch, you all can go to Trivandrum. You can see the real rocket launch happening in Trivandrum. Also, you go to Srinivasan also. Srinivasan, we created a 50,000 people auditorium where rocket launch is happening. You can see there. You can really get the feeling of it. You can, Trivandrum is, and Srinivasan is much better. You can all go and see the GSLV rocket. You can see the rocket happening. Whenever there is an opportunity, they will announce on our website. You all can register along with your school teacher, go and see the rocket. I will be really happy to see it. So, Vikram Sarabhai, and that's where it started. Centenary Magdalene Church, where they started the ISRO started. That's a beautiful museum. It's connected to museum. It's a beautiful automobile also is there, and all rocket models and everything is there. And that's where the magnetic keypad also goes to Tumba. That's why it's called a Tumba Hypothetical Launch Pad. And ISRO started like this in 1976. There were no TVs. Now you will see during COVID also, you would have seen all of you would have had classes online. No, your teacher used to sit at home. You are sitting in your respective homes and you are seeing on your mobile or computer or tablet. So those days are not there. We didn't have TV also. TV came in only in the 82 Asian Games time. So before that, they used to set up a community TV. So American, it was called a site experiment. So they will come to a village, set up a big TV, and all the students will come and assemble there, and some programs will be held. So that's how the TV started in 1976. And you can see here, it's a black and white TV and that big tube TV. And it will be kept in the center of the village one place, and the students will sit and see it. So this was the world's largest experiment at the time. Nearly 2 lakh people were seeing. It was done over 2,400 villages in 6 states. And 50,000 primary schools teachers also were getting trained by that. So it was a very good experiment. Then we started slowly started. We started in a small way, where the community TVs were there. In NCRT, they were having the data, some material that was broadcast everywhere and people could see it. So then what happened? ISRO, we wanted to have our own satellite. So ISRO had a type with the Ford Aerospace in America. They made the first inside 1/6 of satellites, where it was a multi-purpose use, where you were using for communication, for meteorology, and business transactions. All those things are there. And subsequently, we developed our own satellites, both for remote sensing purpose and communication. That's how I joined ISRO in 1985. So at the time, our second generation satellites that we designed, we built, we fabricated, we assembled, we tested, and we are going to foreign places for launching. Now we have got our own launch pad. We go to Srinivasan and launch our own satellites. So that's how we started. And it is very much useful for, I will tell the different applications, how it's used for weather prediction, cyclone prediction, crop estimation. Recently we saw that happened heavy rain and all, landslide. All those things we are able to see from satellite, from using remote sensing satellite. And the accuracy of platform, let's say when cyclone is starting somewhere near Singapore, earlier days in 70s, before you all are born, that cyclone, if it hits the Andhra Kota, Tamil Nadu coast, a lot of people are dying because they were not knowing what would they see it, when it will hit, and all. Now, you can see here, the weather prediction was 25 kilometers position error was there. And slowly it now improved. So all these things are, we give 3 to 4 days advance notice. So people are evacuated and they don't venture, fishermen don't venture to see, they're all saved and do it. And you can see here how many people are dying earlier. Nearly in Odisha, 1999, 10,000 people died due to cyclone. Now hardly it's one or two people who don't listen, they want to simply take a chance and go. Otherwise, it's almost nil. You can see here, that's called the eye of the cyclone. We can predict whether it's going to hit the Tamil Nadu shore, or whether it will go to Andhra, or it will go to Odisha, or it will go to Bangladesh. So all that is real-time monitored. We get alarms. You also can see, it's all covered in Hindu paper. On daily, if you have seen on daily, one photo comes, weather map of India. All these things are there. So you can see here how it has improved over time. And this is the, with different years, how the different cycle prediction can happen. You can see here, and what is the intensity, how we can track it, how much rainfall it will cause, and what is the formation. All these colors also are given. So that will tell whether it's intensive, the wind speed is the 150 kilometers or 75 kilometers or 50 kilometers, so people can take action on that. So this you would have seen this is an Ariane passenger payload experiment satellite. This was launched by Ariane rocket from South America. This is the satellite, it is called Apple. That's an acronym for Ariane passenger experiment. You would have seen this satellite in a bullock cart. Anyone of you have seen? It doesn't mean India didn't have any vehicle. So this, to do this test, we have to take the satellite to Toulouse in France. That would have costed 2 crores. So we came up with our scientists. So what we wanted was a platform where there is no metal contact. So one bullock cart was chosen, and the test was conducted in Pina in Bangalore. And the person who is wearing a lungi, black lungi in Dala, he was paid only 150 rupees. So it was spending 2 crores. We just hired a bullock cart and did the experiment. That was the thing, to check the transmission receiver capability. There was no interference. Let's say that you go all the way to France and find a problem, you would again bring it back to India, Bangalore, correct the problem, take it back. It cost a lot of money. Here we avoided everything, and in fact the test was successful. And just to telling that people think bullock cart, no, that's not the thing, it is to do a test. So this is the thing, we wanted to test the interference avoidance that was successfully tested and taken. So our communication satellites started like this, 75, as I told earlier, that site experiment was there. Then we had this imported satellites, INSAT 1 series, INSAT 1C1D, 1A, 1B, 1C1D, and that 2 satellites failed also. Then we had our own indigenous INSAT 2 series that we designed and built in ISRO Satellite Center where I worked. Then we increased to that DTH. See, now you have seen Sun TV, you get everybody at home now. Earlier days, you may not remember, there used to be a big antenna, and people have to climb up to the house and turn towards radio. Sri Lankan transmitter was very, very powerful. So old timers will remember, we have to turn the antenna towards Colombo and get the signal to do it. Now DTH is there, 24/7. You are getting the earlier days there were only 2 chances, DD1, DD2. DD1, some all the time music will come, and if some VIP passes away 1 week, there is no program, only some music they will put, and some Chitramanjari, like that, songs will play, like that. Now all that is happening because of DTH, that is direct to home. From a satellite we broadcast one place, and the programs have to be carried to Singapore. Let's say you want to listen to today's news, somebody will take a tape recorder, take it to Singapore. Singapore, they will uplink it to satellite. Foreign satellites will get the program. Now it is all live. Cricket matches happening in Chitapur Stadium in Tamil Nadu, or Olympics happening in France. You are able to see live now. Yesterday, javelin throw, you would have seen live happening. All happening because OB bands are there, that are directly applicable to satellites applicable. Throughout the world you can see. And along with that, we have done that 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And your mobile itself, you can see all those things. So all that is happening through satellites. So now next we have the big unfurlable antenna and radar imaging satellites. Normally earlier satellites, they could see only in visual band, only when same sunlight is there you see. And if there is any cloud cover, we are unable to take a capture of the area. Now we are having a radar imaging satellite where it is 24/7, whether it's night, day, or cloudy day, or rainy day, any day, you can take photograph of that. So that one now, in fact, NASA is collaborating with ISRO to make one satellite. It's called LISA, NASA ISRO radar imaging satellite that will be launched at the end of the year. So it jointly we are building a big satellite. It's for the use of all the world. It will use it. And earlier satellites were working for 5 years, 8 years like that. Now whatever satellites we design now, they work for 15 years, 20 years like that. Long, they have long life. So you can see what they throughput directly. You can see for TV. Earlier days, see, let's say I will tell the other transactions also. See, another big thing is the telemedicine. Let's say everybody, doctor cannot be available everywhere. No, you want to consult a doctor, you just go to one center where they will take your lab results, update the data, wherever the doctor is sitting. He may be sitting in Odisha, he may be sitting in Delhi, Calcutta, or Madras, or Bombay, anywhere. You will simply access the data, specialists will look at the data. Or telemedicine is happening. So your villages, they need not have to come to Chennai to get treatment. They will be sitting there, they'll go to a local public healthcare center, there the data will be uploaded, and doctors will be remotely seeing and doing it. So all these things are there. You can see tele-education also. So that already you have experienced in how COVID time we managed it. 2 years we could not, there was lockdown, we could not go to school. There was no vaccine in first year. So all that was possible because of the satellite technology, where teachers were sitting at home, they were preparing material, they were broadcasting it, they were sending you were sitting at home, and they were evaluating it also. So all of you, 1 or 2 years, would have done that. All that was possible through satellite education only. So that's the school of one NCRT. You can see how the e-learning is happening in all over the world. Let's say somebody, a professor in Chennai, he records a program in Tamil. You want to broadcast to Orissa in Oriya, or West Bengal, you want to Bengali, or Karnataka Kannada, or Andhra, Tamil, Telugu. All that is possible through satellite technology. Just record once, and real time the languages, even the local language, they get to hear that. And these are the direct satellites. Now, all of you are using GPS now. You want to go somewhere, you put Google Maps and say, you want to go to T Nagar. It will tell you how much time it will take, where the traffic is happening. All that is happening through navigation satellites. In our, when our Kargil war happened, Americans denied the technology to us. Then we ISRO decided we'll have our own technology. So we have set up a constellation of 7 satellites where we are going to get our own things. So where your vehicle is going, your FASTag. Say earlier, if you are going to from here to Chennai, you are using a highway going to Hyderabad, you have to pay toll. No, all that not there now. FASTag is there now. That is satellite itself is looking at your vehicle, seeing how much distance you have traveled, and accordingly charge you. That's all happening there. So you can see aviation, railways, roadways, maritime, navigation, survey. All these things, these are used for vehicle tracking, fleet management. Say you order a parcel from Amazon or Flipkart, that you have seen the barcode. You can easily track where your parcel is. Say you order on small model, you can track where it is coming, where it is there, and when it is likely to be delivered. Everything is happening through satellites. So these are the different things. And for city planning also, we have to have the ring road, we have to have the bypass, and power grid synchronization, forest mining, everything. So many applications are there. So we are having our own navigation satellites. So this is the same thing, navigation network. We are having so many satellites. So now we are putting new bands also. So your own mobile, you will get our own data. We don't have to depend on American satellite GPS data, our own data, you will get it. So this is how it works. So for our Indian region, it covers everything. So all ships, trucks, buses, where it's currently there, everything is happening. Second biggest thing using this is fishermen. See, here you are saying no. See, say earlier days, a fisherman used to go out in the morning at 6 o'clock. He will not know whether he will get fish or not, and people will not know whether he will come back safely or not, because of uncertainty. The cyclone is there and strong winds are there, there will be tides. Now, using satellite technology, we monitor the surface temperature. We tell the fisherman, you go to Chennai, from here you go east 20 kilometers, west, southeast 10 kilometers, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you will get fish. So all the boats, they have the GPS enabled boats, they simply target them and go there. 2 o'clock, they go there, get the fish, and 4 o'clock, they are back at home. Earlier days, it is not happening. They used to go in the morning at 6 o'clock without knowing where to fish, and they are not knowing whether they will get the fish yield or not. So now all that is happening through these things. By looking at the data, they will get the data, where to go, and they all have handsets, they get the data. Which day to go, when, to go or not to go, those things. So here we tell you which is the potential fishing zone, where to go, those things. Second thing I will tell, another thing is, see, Srinivasan, one launch pad is there. Second launch pad is being set up in Thoothukudi, in Tamil Nadu. So what is the advantage of that is, see, most of the launch pads are on the east coast. The idea behind that is, in case the rocket fails, it will fall to the sea. Because the earth is rotating like this anti-clockwise. So now, if you want to launch a satellite in the polar orbit, from Srinivasan is here, we have to avoid the Sri Lanka and go. So we are spending a lot of fuel. So now what we have done, we have set up the second launch pad in Thoothukudi here, where there is no need to avoid Sri Lanka. Directly we can go. So our SSLV rocket, which will be launched in another 2 days, that will be launched in future from this Thoothukudi rockets. Our second launch pad, it will not be from Srinivasan. So we will save a lot of fuel, and that is being commercialized now. Yeah, that's how it shows the chlorophyll distribution. So which fish is available there, where to go, all those things they get to see. Yeah, these are another thing. So how many of you have drawn money in, your parents would have drawn in bank? Let's say you want to draw cash, you have to go to the bank with a passbook. There is a withdrawal form, you have to fill up the withdrawal form, take a token, wait for 1 hour or 2 hours, then only you get money. But the working days, let's say bank works 10 to 4, 5 days, those days only you get money. No, not like that. 24/7, you get ATMs. All are available happening to satellite only. So once you put your ATM card, it will detect and you put the password, it will go into the central server and check whether you are the owner, you are having money for that, and immediately once you authorize that, you get the money. All that is not possible even in the late 90s, we didn't have the ATMs. So all these things are possible through rooftop antenna, where everything will be done. And even the trains also, they are able to track every train, and most of the crossings, earlier a lot of people are dying, animals are dying because they could not cross the railway crossing gate. Now, these NAVIC chips are installed on the train itself. As soon as the train is proximity to the unmanned gate, it will alert and automatically it will raise an alarm and gate will close automatically. So most of the actions are not happening. Whatever is happening due to some human error, somebody is overriding something or some not maintained properly. Otherwise, now the actions are very, very less, and even the timings also. Now, other days, let's say you want to go from here to Calcutta, some train, it used to run even 1 day late also other days. No, it's not like that. If it says 2:12, it comes to Chennai, and it comes on time. That's all continuously monitored and available. This is the micro technology I told earlier, where independent of weather condition, you can map, the weather mapping can be done, because it can connect to the land. That's why that when a landslide happened now, resource people have checked the data and found out it traveled 8 kilometers, the landslide happened, and there was a fault in the earth line, and how the mountain itself caved in and it moved. So all those things is possible by looking at the data using the microwave technology. So this satellite, this we developed in 1991. This one we wanted to have another satellite. So we wanted to check availability from a foreign source. They told it will cost 4 crores and it will take 2 years. So ISRO, we developed the full satellite, 3 satellites in 1 year for 1 crore. We did it. ISRO did it. So we have a construction of RSAT 2A, 2B, 2C, the RSAT 2 series satellites. 3 satellites we developed in 1 year and deployed. It is very much used throughout, around the clock it is being used. So you can see we don't get data from foreign sources. They will charge exorbitantly and we don't know how it works. Whereas here we design, we fabricate, we test, we maintain them. So all this is happening. So another thing is the disaster management. As I told, so we have an example. So whenever floods are happening, cyclone is happening, forest is there, drought is there, landslide is happening. So we have to give compensation also to farmers. So we should assess. Yesterday, that one person had grown so much paddy. Today the floods happened, or landslide happened, and he has lost. how much acreage, how much acres paddy had grown, how much capacity to be given. Everything is possible to the accuracy we knew. We know yesterday how much he had grown, today how much he suffered, and how much he has to be compensated. And we tell them what to grow also. Particular soil type we check and tell he is not good for growing. Now Punjab they are changing. Punjab let's say they are growing only wheat. We tell them don't grow wheat. You grow some other crop that will help better. So all these are happening through this satellite network only. And even if a fire happens also, but even Chennai also they are using the drones for the plants for chemicals spraying. No, they are using drones because humanly it's not possible to do. And here wherever it's required, the drones will go and drones will spray. And even the fire, if a fire happens also, we are using the drones to put out the fire. And this is for agriculture. What is the, now itself we can tell whether this year, in fact this year it's ativristi, means lot of rain, and monsoon is more above normal, in some states below normal. All those things we are able to tell. And what is the estimate? Earlier in 70s and all, when there was a food scarcity in India. Now India is a food surplus country, milk surplus country. We are exporting everything. All that is happening through properly using the data and managing what to grow. If there is a drought condition, don't grow something. And second thing is, earlier they were drilling these borewells without knowing how much yield they will get. Now we tell them, you don't drill here, you go here and drill, you will get water. That's all happening through satellite imagery only. So they are able to grow better crops and more output is there. So all that is happening, how much crop estimation is happening, and kharif rice. Poor, you can see how they can go for that which season to grow rice. Yeah, this is the crop management. You can see here, year to year how it is changing with the time. Second thing, but COVID, it was very much useful to see that, let's say there is a hotspot, or particular place, more people are having COVID there. You could make out that that person we have to isolate and carry. And did any of you suffer for a vegetable or rice kit is available now? Even the COVID was there, the continuity was there, main things are not affected. The hotels may be closed, but people are getting vegetables, they are getting milk, they are getting medicines. Everything was possible because we could all track from satellite. You can tell the people could not go, because the lockdown, people could not go even from here to Bangalore, here to Hyderabad, anywhere. So it's remotely we could check everything, where to do home isolation, how to give the food to needy, how to track the thing, how vegetable supply should happen, and how the pollution stopped because vehicles are not moving. The pollution level has come down tremendously during the COVID years, COVID months. So this is the, you can see economy, how it improved with, I told now, that potential fishing zones, coastal tourism, and blue economy. Even the wind energy also. Now if you go anywhere, particularly near Kanyakumari, you see a lot of windmills generating power. Windmills are generating power, generating power through hydro plants, we are using solar power. Everything, all are possible because we can tell where they can install the windmills, where they will get power, where to have use the tap the tidal energy. Tides, so if you go to beach, you would have seen, no, some days the tides are high, some days the tides are low. So all those things are monitored, we can install the hydro power also can do it. Yeah, this is the ISRO we are building with NASA. You can see here different bands how we can go deep into the earth and check what are the independent of weather conditions. So this is the aperture radar development. Yeah. So initially we started from lower satellites. Let's say this is the globe. See, you can see here now the Earth moves like this now. How much time it takes to go around one round? 24 hours. So what we do, let's say this is a satellite. I put it in a low Earth orbit around 400 kilometers. What is happening is, this is a satellite, this is the North Pole, South Pole. The satellite is going right like this. So now what is happening, you can see here,
the earth is rotating, right? See now let's say first pass, it takes 100 minutes, I take this area, when I come next time, earth has moved. So like this. So you can see here, I am able to cover full earth by putting the satellite in this orbit. This is called a low Earth orbit, polar orbit. This is called, that's why called PSW is a polar satellite launch vehicle. We put the satellite in a remote satellite, so full earth we are able to cover. In 100 minutes we can cover one round. So you can see full, once the earth moves, every orbit we are covering a different area. So these for the low Earth orbit, these for the remote sensing purpose. Now you want a communication satellite. So let's say this earth takes 24 hours. No, if you put an object at 36 kilometers, this is called a geostationary orbit. That also takes 24 hours to go around one round around Earth. So if you put 3 satellites at 120 degrees apart, let's say these are I put one satellite here, one satellite here, one satellite here, 120 degrees apart. All 3 satellites will be covering full Earth. 120 into 3, 360 degrees. Each satellite covers 120 degrees. So that's called a geostationary orbit. So we moved from a low Earth orbit to a geostationary orbit, all our inside satellites. Then we went to Moon, that's about 3.85 lakh kilometers. Then we went to Mars, 225 million kilometers away. So that's the science experiments. That's how ISRO initially started with satellites which are built by Russians or Americans. Then we developed our satellites, launched by them. Now we are developing our satellites using our rockets and launching them, going to Mars, and even Aditya also will cover later. If any of you have questions, you can ask me later. Yeah, so these are the, I was talking about the different applications, how the Earth is there, equator is there, inclined orbit, equator orbit, polar orbit. How we want to go to Moon means how to go there, and yeah, just click, play. Yeah, you can see here, there is a satellite is going around like this. So what we do, we want to go to geostationary orbit, we put in a launch from Srinivasan, it put in a geostationary orbit. Let's say now we want to go to Mars. See, at the time of launch, Mars was sitting there, and we have to accurately calculate by the time it goes 8 months it takes to go to Mars, and if it's closest to Earth, we have to launch the satellite. So that is a particular muhurta. We can't launch anytime. We don't get opportunity. We get opportunity once in 3 years or 4 years only. So once we launch there, we go around Earth, and Mars would have been there. Mars will slowly move here, and once it comes here, we have to get into Mars orbit and get into a Mars orbit. We have to capture that. A very tedious thing. And even American Russians and all, they succeed only 11th or 10th or 11th time. Whereas India, we have gone to Moon 3 times. Every time we succeeded. Mars first time, you have seen, it's called Mars orbit mission. That also we did first time. We were successful in doing that. So these are some of the scientific satellites we have built. There is a sounding rocket, then Aryabhata, SRAS, Astronaut, and these are the new things which are happening now. Chandrayaan on Mars, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3 over now, Aditya, Expo. These are all science satellites. So these, even for the astronomy also, we built specific satellites for like Astrosat and all. We are able to estimate. So this is the image of Mars taken by ISRO. Our own mom image, we have done a full atlas of Mars. We have seen, we have made a lot of study. And ISRO was the first country to detect the presence of water on Moon. You know, no? 2008. And all the 3 PDs are from Chennai, Tamil Nadu only. First PD, you heard of Dr. Anandare. He was the director of ISRO Satellite Center. He was the project for Chandrayaan 2. Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, when Vanita was there, and Veera Muthuvel, he was the project director for Chandrayaan 3. And none of them are from big IITs, all are from government schools. Even I studied in a government school. You should have a passion for it. So they all worked hard, and we could achieve all these things. And what is the prize, One American movie, the cost of going to Mars was less than cost of movie made by Americans. Much less than that. So So this is the Mangalyaan mission. You can see here. See, the challenge is, see, when satellite launch happens, Mars Earth at the point number 1, and you have to slowly go around Earth, get into escape velocity, go out of the gravitational pull of Earth, and get into that orbit. And by the time, see, 1st December 2013 we launched the satellite, and we captured Mars on 14th September. It took 8 months. But everything we have to calculate pakka. We have to see that each operation when to do, how to get into Mars orbit. And Mars also has moved, you can see here. Mars was sitting at point number 1 there. You can see here. So it was there, Mars was moving around the sun. And when it happened here, we had to move the satellite and capture it there. A very, very challenging thing. And it was totally, visibility was not there. Means your satellite was not in the visible tracking, it had gone behind Mars. At that time, we have to make the speed 0, get into moon's gravity. That's a very challenging task, and we successfully did it. This is the Astronaut mission. So all these things, different applications of ultraviolet imaging, soft X-ray, large area X-ray, all those things were done. So a lot of papers have come. If anybody is interested in astronomy, this data is available in public domain. You can look into those data and develop interest in that. Yeah, Chandrayaan 1. See, Chandrayaan 1, we were the first people to find the presence of water. Even though just now Venkat showed, 1969 itself, Americans landed on moon. But they all landed close to the, let's say, this is the image of moon. They all landed close to the equator. Whereas, ISRO, we found out the presence of water here. Let's say you want to go to moon. You need water now. So all of you brought water today from your houses, right? Let's say you need water for 2 days. Can you carry? Let's say you want for 1 week. How much water can you carry? You can't carry now. You have to find a place where you have to dig a well and use water. So what ISRO did, we found out the presence of water. You can see here near the South Pole, we analyzed the data and we have put a experiment which detected the presence of water. Because even if you want to build a house on moon, you cannot carry cement, sand, wood, everything now. You have to use the material available there to build. So where do rabbits, most of them live? They live all underground, isn't it? So with Chandrayaan 3, I will cover it later. You have to use the material available on moon. First thing you need water to drink, and there is no oxygen there. You need oxygen to breathe. And to grow plants, you need water. And you have to grow plants. You should have everything, water is the main thing. So for that, if you want to, Venkat was telling, if you want to go, you have to go to other planets to escape from Earth means, on, let's say you weigh, some of you weigh, let's say 36 kg on Earth. You will weigh only 1/6, you will weigh only 9 kgs on, 6 kgs on the surface of moon. If somebody weighs 60 kgs on the ground, on Earth, you will weigh only 10 kgs on moon. The gravitational force is less. So you need less energy to go to other, let's say like intermediate stop. You want to go to some place, you go to one central place, from there you go to other places, no? Like that. So moon will be the intermediate place to go to Mars or any other planet in future. For that you need water. So that's how, even though 69 they went to, and 1972 the last time they all went to moon, no, the people are not interested. After Chandrayaan 1 in 2008, again no people are showing interest. And they again revisited. We ourselves have visited 3 times. Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3. And Chandrayaan 2 image is the best, even though it's working. It was designed for 1 year in 2019, it was launched. It gives the best image of moon ever taken. Even though it's going around moon, that is able to detect, take a good mapping of moon. And Chandrayaan 3 also we succeeded. So now even Americans now they want to go back to moon. No, SpaceX they are having a very big rocket. They want to again go back to the moon. So it's happening another 2-3 years. Again, Earth person will go to. It can be need not be American. Somebody will go and land on moon again. So Chandrayaan 1, that's what we found out. Chandrayaan 2, we did lunar hydration and we found out which place it is. And another thing is, even though other people have gone here, nobody landed near the South Pole. Chandrayaan 3 was the first satellite to go and land on the South Pole, which nobody else has done before. It was a very, very challenging thing. And even recently, some 2-3 probes they went, they fell short. One probe went, they were short of fuel. They didn't have fuel and it crashed. Another satellite went. See, if you have seen our satellite model, I will show it anyway. So we have put the solar panels on all sides. You can see here, only on this side ramp is there where the rover came out. So anywhere, even the lander doesn't land only one side. Even if it lands like this, you are able to generate power. That's how we have generated, and the lander could come out and move on we could successfully land. So this is how we went to the moon. That blue line. Here. Yeah, I will just show. Yeah, you can see what are the challenges in Chandrayaan 3, what problem we have in Chandrayaan 2, how we overcame Chandrayaan 3 and we could successfully land. So, it shows all these things. So that's the image you can see that's taken by our Chandrayaan 2. It's a very good image of moon. And what are the challenges, how we went and successfully landed on moon. So you can see here, as I was telling earlier, all other people, they all landed close to the equator and then nobody could succeed. And you can see here, this what are already Venkat has covered, you can see all these are failures. You can see Luna 9, before that they had Luna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they could not go near moon. Only Luna 8, 9 was the first time they could go to near moon. And these are the different satellites, I will not spend much time on that. Yeah, you can see comparison between Earth and Moon. It is what are they 1/6, how much time it takes, and what are the distance from Earth to Moon. Yeah, see now, to go to Moon, we have to build a very powerful rocket. Chandrayaan 1, we used a PSV rocket. So slowly what we did, we launched from Srinivasan. Slowly raise the apogee. It is 3.86 kilometers now. We don't have resources to build we can build a rocket, but it costs a lot of money. So slowly we raise the orbit by firing the engine. This is called the perigee, this is called the apogee. Point close to Earth is called the perigee. Point farthest from Earth is called the apogee point. It's a elliptical orbit. Slowly we raise the orbit. Once it comes here, we have to fire at 10.84 meters per second. That's the escape velocity. If you do it, it will escape from the Earth's gravitational force. It will go here, and it takes another 1 day to go here. And the challenge is, when it comes here, you have to make the speed 0 and get into Moon's orbit. And this, every time you have succeeded. So here also it puts it in the elliptical orbit. Slowly we have to fire the reverse engine and reduce the height, make it a circular orbit around Moon. And then the lander and the propulsion module, which did a piggyback. So we have to. So actually it was carried away. This is the model of GSLV, where the satellite was taken by. Same model will be taken for Gaganyaan also. Actually, satellite will be sitting here. This is called the top of the satellite, where the heat shields are there. You would have seen. So these two things were. This is the propulsion module, and this is the lander module. We did a piggyback like this. These two are sent together. Once it goes near Moon, these two will separate. This will be orbiting around Moon. This is the Moon. This will come and land on Moon. This is called the lander. And after landing, I will show how the ramp opened. Yeah, that's the launch from GSLV. I showed there's a rocket. And how we went there, I don't have time. You can see here how the thing is going around Earth, then gets into Moon's orbit. See, it went near there. You see the date also when it's happening. Yeah. These are
deep space network in Bangalore, from where it is tracked. You can see here how the satellite was launched, how it was taken up. And this time we have to reduce the speed. It's going at a very high velocity. We have to make the speed height 0. We have to see it's going around moon now. So we have to make it vertical. We have to reduce the speed, come close to moon, and reduce the speed. See, it's 1680 meters per second. At that point, we have to make it like this. 5 ranges, reduce the speed, come down, reduce it to. You have to come to go there and check whether I am at a flat area, whether I can properly land there, and then check. And everything happened perfectly. 23rd August, it is 23823. 2 cube. That's called now being celebrated on National Space Day, this August 23rd every year. It was really challenging thing to do. And we use artificial intelligence. See, going there now, it happened to some of the Russian satellite where it landed in a crater where it landed on one leg. It could not generate power. So we had to go to a place where there is a flat area where I can successfully go and stand there on all 4 legs. Then only you would have seen the photos also of lantern rover. The ramp would open and the rover would come out. So we went there using the image of Chandrayaan taken by Chandrayaan 2. We found out using artificial intelligence whether the surface is a good place to land. There are no craters and land. Yeah. So these are we had to do a lot of simulations on the ground. I not spent time on that. So this is how the lander happened, and this is the ramp, and how the rover came down. You can see here. So I am happy to say I am the designer for the batteries for these things. The power supply of so you can see here, we mentioned more around 100 meters on the surface of moon. Take a remote, it's the TPI you are seeing now. That rover is as small as that. So it is having a solar panel, it is having a battery, it is having 6 wheels. Another thing is, see, he showed now the Armstrong landing on moon. So when he landed on moon there is no atmosphere. So first time wherever he set the foot, his footprints are there on the surface of moon. Because there is no wind, there is no rain, there is no atmosphere, that will be there permanently. So that one Americans you would have seen Armstrong's foot image on the moon. ISRO what we did there are 2 wheels at the back now. We put on one wheel our Ashoka emblem, second wheel our ISRO symbol. So when the rover is moving on the surface of the moon, like Sankranti you do or Sankranti you do, no? The sweet candy you do, how do you do it? There is a mode and do it now. So when the wheel is engraved, so when the rover is moving on the surface of moon, let's say this is the surface of moon, when the rover is moving, on the surface of moon you get the Ashoka emblem and ISRO emblem printed. It will be there permanently. If you go to moon, you can go and see it yourself. But just telling. Yeah, these are the things. I will not spend time. What are the different weight of those things? And these are the different payloads. After going there to do some work, no, just going into impact is no use. After going there to do some experiment, you have to find out what is the temperature and whether similar to earthquake, whether there are lunar quakes also happening on moon. That also, in fact, in the rover mode also, our detector could detect the due to movement of rover. Let's say a child is walking, first floor you will get a sound, no. You get disturbance of the ground floor, no. So there will be some disturbance. That also our thing could capture. So there is a seismic activity. And laser array, this is a very good thing. Even though our satellites are working, now any other satellite going on the moon is like a passive mirror. There is a laser, if you point a mirror at that, it will reflect back. You know where it is. It's like having a torch. Let's say there is a dark room, you put a torch, if you put a mirror effect now, like it reflect back. You know where the moon, surface of moon, how the rover is moving, moon is moving its time, that also can be observed by this experiment. So these are the different payloads carried by rover. We did these things. And second thing is, if you want to go in future, there is a habitable planet. If you want to find out what is the polarimetric signature there and what is the composition of soil there. Let's say you want to build a dwelling on moon, you should know what is there. So for that we have found out some sulfur is there, calcium is there, potassium is there. So next time when you go, you know what material is available to grow your own habitat there. These are the satellite was built in ISRO Satellite Center. That's a Srinivasan that's launched in this is the top of the rocket where the heat shield is there. And it's assembled in the rocket like this. It is launched. Once you go, the satellite is injected, there's the image, actual satellite image taken by your onboard camera. In this video also I have, to lack of time, I'm not showing it. And how we went to moon. Slowly how we raised the orbit, got into Earth's orbit, then lunar trans injection, then actual moon's orbit and how we got it. Yeah, actually we say Chandramukhi now. People think Chandramukhi means very beautiful. Actually you can see here, moon surface is like this. It's in fact lots of craters. And actually what we see is only one side of the moon. We don't see the back side of the moon. You can see here that there are so many asteroids. They all hit on the moon and so many craters and all are there. So you have to find a place where you should, there's a flat place where, so this is the actual photo taken by a Vikram lander, and it's supposed to see this is where it landed. It's the actual footage from 3.84 lakh kilometers away. Yeah, this is the simulation you can see here. Just click. Yeah. See how it landed, how that ramp opened up, that the rover came out. You can see here, all directions we put solar panels. The rover came out. These are the how that ramp opened. That also we have an onboard camera. How the rover, you can see here, the Ashoka column is there. When it's moving, that is formed, that footprint on the surface of the moon. And this is a photograph of lander taken by Rover. Rover had moved some 50 meters away. From there, it took a photograph. And this is actual photograph of Vikram taken by Rover from about 50 meters away. Yeah, that's where the rover moved. And second thing, see now, Chandrayaan 4 we're planning a sample return. Means we go to moon, land there, bring some sample back to Earth. For that we have to come back now. So after all the experiments were done, we did a hop test because once you have to come back to Earth, it has to come up again travel back to Earth. So this was not planned earlier. We did a hop test. It moved it rose up some few meters, moved horizontally again landed in another place. So that also we tested. That was not initially planned, but successfully we could do it in Chandrayaan 3. In future it will be like this. We will be having a this is the Chandrayaan 3. When we have 2 minutes, I will tell about opportunities for students in future. So you see now how the satellite is assembled. See, satellite is like a human being. So you have mouth, you have ears, you have stomach, you are having motion, everything. No. So satellite is also similar to those things. You should have power. You should have antenna to listen. You should have a transmitter to speak. You should have fuel to work, power. All those things, that's how the satellite is assembled. What you are seeing is an assembled satellite. But you should know how the satellite is built. Just click. You can see here, this is how the satellite is assembled. First you get a basic structure, then the fuel plant comes, then there is the earthing panel that's assembled. Then all the panels one by one will come. This is from the LAM engine is assembled there. Then there are different south panel, north panel, like that. So they are all individually assembled, tested, then brought to satellite, all assembled. You can see how the assembly happens. Then you close this thing, then there is the other service, other supporting structure, north and south. Then the solar panels will come. There's the battery module, both sides. All that is done in ISRO Satellite Center, Bangalore. Then the EV deck, then the antenna will come. This is the solar array. It will come one side. Similar thing will come the north side also, one panel, one will come. This is the antenna which are folded, then deployed in orbit. It will get attached there. One more antenna from that side. Yeah, this is the finished rocket, which is going to a rocket, it gets launched. Yeah, so these are the click. Yeah, any one of them. So these are how the rocket goes up from Mangalyaan. These are the future things. All the artificial ISR we are having this year. Then once you go there, Venkat told about docking. So if you want to go to our space station, you have to go attached to the docking. You need to have a model where you transfer people or food from one model to another one. That you need to do. All those things are planned this year. And definitely similar to space shuttle, we are having our own reusable launch vehicle. That's called RLV. That is already some 3 test flights over. We are going to make it happen. That will make the cost of launching very, very less. This is the nice and already acquired. This is the NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar satellite. And this is the next one, Gaganyaan, where we are going to put our own. See, he told about Rakesh Sharma. Rakesh Sharma was Indian, but he went in a Russian satellite. Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams, they went in American space shuttle. Whereas here we are going to put our own people, the satellite built by ISRO, rocket built by ISRO, India, and launch from Srinivasan. That is the challenge. So now we are ready for that. So already we are planning that. This is the Aditya details. So Aditya is 1.5 million kilometers away. That is 1/100th of a distance from Earth, Sun. We can monitor the Sun. So how we did that? It's 1/100th of distance where it's called L1 point, where continuously you can monitor at Sun. It's a very challenging task and we could successfully do it. Therefore the satellite is going and it will continuously monitor the Sun. Yeah, this is a roadmap. How we started from a small rocket and different satellites, different different size of rockets and satellites. How we have moved. This is a PSLV. Now, in fact, we launched 104 satellites together. That is a big, it's 104 foreign satellites at single one stroke. We launched from using a PSLV. Very reliable vehicle, very cheap also. This is the evolution of rocket, different models we are having now. There is a human rocket where we are going to put a man in space. Yeah, these are the things required for the GSLV Mark III. That's what I showed the model. To come back to our Gaganyaan, now we have to bring them back also. That also we have already done a lot of experiments using a parachute how to come back successfully. I will not spend too much time. And a lot of industries are involved in these things. Academic institutions, advanced technology, private people, human capital, all these things are industry, academia. So these are the parallel developments happening at different places. And some of the different websites available for people to, anybody can use it. Yeah, this is the role of industries. These are Gaganyaan module. You can see there will be a crew module, a service module. 3 people can sit inside that crew module, and they will be already they've been trained in Russia. And 2 of them, as Rocket told, some people are going to space station, ISS, using Axim rocket. And remaining 2 will go in our own Gaganyaan module. So these are the related things available. So I will come to what is interesting, the same thing about Gaganyaan. Yeah, just two more things. I'm just due to lack of time, I'm not having. So now I come to this. So all of you have heard of STEM now. Now it's STEAM. The science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics. So whichever you are good at, you pursue that. Your teachers will support you. If you excel in that, if you want to get into ISRO, you should be good in science and maths. You can get into ISRO. So this Avron IIT, the Institute of Space Technology in Trivandrum. If you do well JEE, that is at the end of second PUC joint entrance exam, you pass out well, you get admission there. It is totally admission free, your boarding lodging free, and if you get a CGPA of 8.9, you automatically get a job in ISRO. That's all happening here. It is the job in ISRO. And the second thing is, there is a ISRO space agent. There is a chat box. But this madam is going to put this QR code in your. You can copy it. If you scan it, you can ask any question, it will answer. But ISRO. You can ask anything about ISRO, it will give the details. So that's the website, https chat.isrospaceagent.com. If you click on that, any browser, you will get this. You can look into this. And this is the Bharatiya Antariksh Hackathon is the competition. So even this thing, if you go to National Space Day ISRO website, all these things are just given here. So different posters are available. Certain lighting poster. Whatever I showed, all this data is available on the website. Yeah, that's it.
My name is Shankar. I'm from COE. My question is, why is it important to explore space and invest money in space exploration?